Welcome to Just Cap Entertainment. Today, we're going to delve into the thrilling world of crime-fighting action movies with a focus on the adrenaline-pumping film, Speed. The movie takes place in a bustling mall in Los Angeles, where a man named Payne poses as an elevator repairman and kills a security guard. He then proceeds to blow up the cables of a running elevator, causing it to plummet at a high speed. Fortunately, the emergency lock kicks in, stopping the elevator at the 30th floor, where 13 employees are trapped. Enter our main characters, Jack and Harry, who are bomb disposal officers on the rapid response team of the Los Angeles Police Department. Payne demands a hefty sum of $3 million from the police, threatening to detonate the emergency lock if his demands aren't met within an hour. With only 23 minutes left on the clock, Jack and Harry are sent to inspect the elevator. Scaling down from the roof of the elevator on the 32nd floor, the duo discovers a sophisticated bomb planted by Payne. Harry, a master bomb diffuser, faces a daunting challenge as he struggles to disarm the explosive device. In the meantime, Jack decides to rescue the trapped employees by threading a steel wire to the roof of the elevator. During the chaos, Payne noticed something unusual and immediately detonated the emergency lock. The elevator plummeted with an alarming force, and the crane's head became lodged in a treacherous corridor. Jack and his team sprang into action, seizing the opportunity to save everyone trapped inside. Later, Jack and Harry discovered Payne's location on the cargo ladder, but Payne's high IQ allowed him to shoot through the roof and escape. In a desperate attempt to save Harry, Jack took a shot at his leg, preventing Payne from dragging him away. Payne then blew up the garage floor and fled. Despite the danger, Jack and Harry successfully rescued all 13 hostages and were awarded for their bravery. However, Payne was not finished. He sought revenge by blowing up a bus with only the driver on board, taunting Jack with a phone call and threatening to detonate another bomb on a bus if it didn't reach 80 kilometers per hour. Jack was determined to stop Payne and save the passengers on the bus, but this time he was not allowed to leave. If Payne is not paid, the bomb will detonate immediately, he declared, demanding a sum of $3.7 million by 11 o'clock. He believed it was his rightful retirement money. As the bus picked up passengers, Jack navigated carefully through the congested highway. He eventually pulled up behind the bus and ran after it, urging the driver to stop. However, the driver ignored him since it wasn't a designated bus stop. Frustrated, Jack commandeered another car and chased after the bus. Despite honking repeatedly, the bus driver didn't understand Jack's urgency and continued to accelerate to 80 kilometers per hour. Suddenly, the bomb activated. It wasn't until the perpetrator wrote a note that the driver finally comprehended the situation. Jack instructed the driver to slow down and then leaped over the bus. Unfortunately, the car he had taken crashed into a sandbox. Upon boarding the bus, Jack swiftly pulled out his badge, ensuring that everyone could confirm his identity. He didn't want to cause any unnecessary panic. And Porter, a short-haired girl, spoke up indignantly, "You scared the old lady behind you." Suddenly, the thief pulled out a gun and pointed it at Jack, mistaking him for an arresting officer. But before he could make a move, a brave black worker pounced on the thief, resulting in a shot being fired and the driver being injured. The bus began to wobble, and Anne, a former school bus driver, immediately jumped into action, taking the wheel and heading towards the hospital. However, Jack stopped her in her tracks, revealing the presence of a bomb on the bus. With the thief under control, Jack contacted the head department while the press and police helicopters arrived on the scene. Jack searched for the bomb, but it wasn't until the driver mentioned a door on the floor that Jack discovered the C4. Furthermore, the bomb in question is not only highly advanced but also incredibly dangerous. As Anne found herself stuck in a traffic jam, she made a split-second decision to veer off the highway. Her reckless maneuver caused her to collide with another vehicle, sending it careening through the air. Despite her best efforts, Anne continued to crash into the surrounding sand and even drove in the opposite direction to bypass the roadblock. Thankfully, a helicopter was able to guide her towards a newly repaired road that was not yet open to the public, and had to use all her skills to navigate the sharp turns and obstacles, but she managed to successfully drive the bus onto the empty road. Jack, who had been watching in awe, praised her exceptional driving abilities. However, their relief was short-lived as the police arrived with a large truck to transfer the passengers to safety. Payne, the mastermind behind the bomb, threatened to detonate it if anyone attempted to rescue the hostages. After some tense negotiations, Payne agreed to transfer the injured driver, but he callously detonated a small bomb at the car door when a woman tried to escape. The warning tactic employed in this situation proved to be highly effective. Jack, the protagonist, was so infuriated that he instructed his colleagues to order the press helicopters to back off. Thanks to this quick thinking, everyone on the bus was safe before the disaster could escalate any further. As the helicopter scouted ahead, it discovered a large, empty hole about 1 meter wide, leaving Jack with no other choice but to instruct Annie to step on the accelerator and pull the steering wheel to make the bus fly over to the other side. Ahead of them lay the entrance to LA Airport, and Jack instructed Annie to drive there and run around to buy some time. In the midst of all this chaos, Payne called and demanded 2 bags of cash with non-contiguous serial numbers. Jack used this as an excuse to collect money and negotiate with his superiors. Jack lay on a cart close to the ground to try to get under the bus to defuse the bomb. Despite Harry's directions, they were unable to defuse the bomb in the end. However, the police department finally found Payne's information, revealing that he was a former police officer of the Atlantia Mines and Arson Squad. He was forced into early retirement after his finger was blown off during a mission. Dissatisfied with the retirement benefits, he hatched a plan to blackmail the government by blowing up an elevator. The police quickly apprehended him at his home. Meanwhile, Jack narrowly avoided disaster when a manhole cover struck him, causing the trolley cable to come loose. Quick thinking and resourcefulness saved him as he used a screwdriver to puncture the fuel tank and tie himself to the bus frame. With the help of a fellow passenger, he was able to escape the danger. But the danger was far from over. The bus was running out of gas, a remote-controlled bomb detonated, and the culprit taunted Jack with a demand for ransom. Despite the loss of his partner, Jack remained determined to catch the perpetrator. He discovered that the bus was under surveillance, and he devised a plan to outsmart the criminal. With Anne's encouragement, Jack rallied the passengers to remain still and look ahead, while he executed his plan. After requesting communication equipment from his superiors, the police relayed the camera frequency to Payne's camera and recorded a loop video to deceive him. Payne is still watching the video, unaware of the situation. Jack called for another bus to transport everyone, but only he and Annie remained on the bus when the tire burst. Jack helped Annie stabilize the direction of the bus and used an iron pipe to block the accelerator and tie the steering wheel with a rope. Eventually, they escaped through the floor door using a slide. The bus lost control and crashed into a plane being towed, resulting in an explosion. Jack suggested a plan to use Payne's greed to their advantage and arrest him immediately. Payne remained unaware of the situation. Payne later discovered that his surveillance video was pre-recorded. He then disguised himself as a policeman and approached the scene to arrest Anne, but the police waited and saw no one coming to take the money, realizing that something was amiss. Jack discovered that Payne had dug holes in the bottom of the trash can. Fortunately, there was a locator device in the bag of money, which proved to be a lifesaver for Jack. He chased into the subway station and discovered that she had a bomb strapped to her body. Jack knew he couldn't risk shooting her, so he made her board the train and ordered the driver to take off. He then proceeded to evacuate all the passengers from the train. Thanks to his unwavering love for Anne, Jack summoned the strength to pry open the train door with his bare hands. However, before he could make his move, Payne shot and killed the train driver who was about to call the police. Payne then handcuffed Anne to an iron post, leaving Jack with no choice but to climb onto the roof of the train. Payne heard a noise on the top of the train and realized that Jack was up there. He tried to bribe Jack with the money, but as soon as he opened the bag, the dye pack inside exploded in his face, rendering the bills useless. Payne was furious and began shouting at the roof. Jack, dodging bullets, managed to disarm Payne and knock him down with a signal light in the undercarriage. He then quickly returned to the train and dismantled the bomb on Anne's body, saving her life. After contacting headquarters, Jack discovered that the road ahead was incomplete and the emergency stop button was broken. Despite not having the key to the handcuffs, he refused to abandon Anne on the train. With a 90 degrees turn looming ahead, Jack had to think fast. He decided to increase the train's speed to the maximum allowed on the tracks, causing sparks to fly. As a result, the train skidded off the tracks at the turn and collided with the main road. Fortunately, the couple on the train emerged unscathed after hitting the rear of a van. Jack's heroic efforts paid off, and he won the heart of the girl he saved. They lived happily ever after.